Hello there guys, welcome to one of my videos. On this video tonight, there's a few things to negotiate about. So, just going to give you some news on Jadon Sancho. So, reportedly, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has changed his mind on the Jadon Sancho transfer. Now he's backing away from Jadon Sancho. Now Manchester United are looking at alternatives, because I will make an admission, there is much cheaper solutions than him. Obviously, we have been looking at Ousmane Dembele from Barcelona recently. We've been looking at Robert Matondo from Schalke. We've also looked at Douglas Costa from Juventus. We've looked at Thiago Almeida. We've looked at Federico Chiesa. We've looked at Kingsley Coman from Bayern Munich. So yeah, we have looked at so many alternatives. Now, I think there's a lot of Manchester United fans now that do believe that Jadon Sancho won't be joining the football club in this summer transfer window. Obviously, Fabrizio Romano, very reliable Italian journalist, he's spoken about the Jadon Sancho transfer saga. And he still believes that Sancho will come to Man United in this summer transfer window. Obviously, it was very imminent that Sancho was going to be coming the other week, because Fabrizio Romano did say that negotiations between Manchester United and Borussia Dortmund were at an advanced stage. And he said that Sancho agreed personal terms with Manchester United, and he said he was set to sign a 5-year deal with a football club worth around £250,000 a week. As you all know, we missed out on the deadline to sign Sancho because Dortmund said that we had until the 10th of August to sign the player. Obviously, James Cooper, who also is close to United, he gave us a positive update on Sancho yesterday, and he said that Manchester United do not miss out on players that they intend to sign, and he still believes that Sancho does want to come to the football club. But you had Borussia Dortmund CEO, he recently come out and said that Sancho wants to stay. He came out the other week and denied that Man United were in advanced talks to sign the player. And also to Borussia Dortmund sporting director, he also says that Sancho will stay at Dortmund and the decision is final. And I still believe that Sancho does want to come to Manchester United, and I want us to get him on the board. And I've outlined the reasons why I want Sancho to come to Manchester United is because, he's got a very good friendship with Rashford, he'll dramatically improve us, and he is predominantly a right winner. But throughout the course of this Jadon Sancho transfer saga, it has been Borussia Dortmund's asking price that has been the stumbling block, because they have said several times that they want over £100 million, and we have said we are not willing to pay over £100 million. Dortmund's valuation is around £108 million, and Dortmund are looking for around £90 million up front. I think it said we'd set our limit, and we was only willing to pay £60 or £70 million up front for the player. But we first expressed our interest in Sancho in 2017. Obviously, Sancho's enjoyed 3 good years in Germany with Borussia Dortmund. Obviously, Dortmund only paid £8 million for him from Man City back in 2017. So, obviously, Dortmund got him for next to nothing. But analyse his performances in the few years he's been with Dortmund, his valuation has persistently grown. Sancho has still got a contract with Dortmund, I think, until 2022. But Borussia Dortmund is the 3rd club in his playing career. And we did make a promise to him that, we was willing to offer him the number 7, because obviously, we have got number 7 vacant at the moment, but we have had a lot of good number 7s up and down the generations. He recently said that Barcelona and Real Madrid have entered the race, and they could sign him next year if we do not sign him in this summer transfer window. So yeah, it's looking like that's going to be another player we're going to miss out on under Solskjaer. That means it's going to be the 3rd player, because we've already missed out on Erling Haaland and Jude Bellingham. So obviously it is a shame. It really, really is. So yeah, that is the breaking news on Jadon Sancho, but there's still stories coming out saying that Jadon Sancho could push a move to Manchester United if we was willing to submit an offer to Borussia Dortmund. But I can't see us willing to meet their asking price, because I think 108 million is a bit too much for Sancho. I think probably the tops is worth around 70 or 80 million pounds, to be honest with you. So yeah. So that is the breaking news on him. By the way, I just want to confirm that Manchester United have officially signed Fillip Stevanovic from Partizan Belgrade. We have signed him for around £10.9 million. As you all know, he is going to remain on loan with Partizan Belgrade for next season. Then he will officially join Manchester United in the summer of 2021, which is next summer. So he is our first signing in this summer transfer window. Obviously, Fabrizio Romano confirmed it yesterday that he was going to be coming, and also too, these stories were coming from Republica. Yeah, like I said, he's only the age of 17. He's predominantly a left winger. I think he's played around 30 odd games for Partizan Belgrade. I think he did make his senior debut for Partizan Belgrade in 2018 and became the third youngest debutant for Partizan Belgrade. I think he joined Partizan Belgrade's youth system in 2011, and he joined their youth system at the age of 9. So obviously, he's following the footsteps of Tosic, because we got Tosic from Partizan Belgrade back in 2009. Don't forget as well, Fillip Stevanovic has played against us twice in the group stages of the Europa League when we did play Partizan Belgrade. But yeah, we have got him for €12 million, the player. I think he did have a contract with Partizan Belgrade until 2022. So yeah, so that's the breaking news on him. But who's going to be our next signing after, Fillip Stevanovic and that? Obviously, there's so many players on our agenda in that. By the way, I just want to give you some breaking news on Paul Pogba. So stories have been coming out from 2O Sport, which is it an Italian newspaper or something like that. They have said that Manchester United are considering swapping Paul Pogba for Paulo Dybala in this summer transfer window. Now, Juventus, I think, are willing to offer Dybala to us as part of them, re-signing Paul Pogba. So the Paul Pogba transfer saga does continue to persist. His future is not fully resolved as yet. Don't forget, we was in for Paulo Dybala, was it last summer? But obviously, we failed to get him in. And I think a lot of Manchester United fans would take Paulo Dybala at the football club. I think probably Paulo Dybala in any deal will probably cost us around €100 million. That equates to around 90 million in pounds sterling. Now, I expect Paul Pogba to stay at the football club for next season. Obviously, earlier on this week, Paul Pogba did drop a tweet on social media saying there was going to be a big announcement on Wednesday. Obviously, that's regarding his contract. But instead, it was something to do with a Call of Duty game. But anyway, a couple of weeks before the season finished, he said that Paul Pogba was close to signing a 5-year deal with Manchester United. And also, too, Fabrizio Romano said that Paul Pogba is happy at the football club, and he said he wants to stay at Man United. And he said we will enter negotiations with his agent Mini Raiola over getting him a new contract at the football club. And contract negotiations are expected to happen after the Europa League. As it stands at the moment, Pogba's just got under a year left on his Man United contract, but the club do have an option to extend it for a further year. But if we get him a new long-term contract, then it will end the uncertainty over his future. For the vast majority of the Premier League season, didn't really have a perception on Paul Pogba, because obviously he was out with that ankle injury. He has sustained quite a few injuries as a Manchester United player, but towards the end of the Premier League season, I thought Paul Pogba did very, very well for us. He really, really did. But as it stands at the moment, Paul Pogba's our most expensive signing because we did pay £89 million for him. And recently he celebrated his 4-year anniversary at the football club. But this time last year, it was looking very, very imminent that Paul Pogba was leaving, because Paul Pogba did say last year that he wanted to leave Manchester United because he was seeking for a new challenge. And don't forget, he was relentlessly linked with a move to Real Madrid. Obviously, there was talks about him going back to Juventus, PSG, Barcelona and Inter Milan were in for him before. But, yeah. So that is the latest news on that. But swap deals have been high on the agenda. Juventus have tried to offer a few of their players, try and get Pogba. Now they're offering Dybala. Real Madrid before have tried to sacrifice a few of their players to try and get Paul Pogba and that. But, it was mainly his wage demands that probably stopped him from going, because Paul Pogba at the football club is on, like, is it 300 grand a week or just under 300 grand a week at Manchester United and all of that. So, yeah, that is the breaking news on him. Now, I want to give you some breaking news regarding Dean Henderson. So, according to recent reports, Manchester United are looking to loan out Dean Henderson again for next season. He will not be going back to Sheffield United because reportedly Sheffield United have agreed to get Aaron Ramsdale from Bournemouth for around 18.5 million. This bid has been accepted. Now, I don't think we should loan Dean Henderson out for another season. I think now Dean Henderson has got that experience behind him because he's enjoyed 2 successful loans with Sheffield United. And I've got to say, he was Sheffield United's player of the season, was Dean Henderson. Dean Henderson's had quite a few loan spells, with Stockport, Grimsby and Shrewsbury. We got Dean Henderson back in 2011 from Carlisle. We got him at just the age of 14 and that. But I think Dean Henderson's basically said, he'll only stay at Manchester United if he is assured to be number 1 for next season. But if he isn't, then he wants to leave Manchester United. He did say not too long ago that we'd offered Dean Henderson a new deal worth around £60,000. And it still also mentions that Chelsea are interested in him. Dean Henderson has got a contract with us. His current contract with us expires in 2022, but I think Solskjaer's got to put him as number 1 for next season. But Solskjaer did recently say that Dean Henderson is not yet ready to become number 1 goalkeeper for Manchester United and that. So that is the breaking news on him. Obviously, on my recent video, I give you my starting 11 prediction for our game against Sevilla in the Europa League semi-final tomorrow. I've just recently given you my reaction to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's press conference as well. Solskjaer, during the press conference, didn't really give us an indication of what team he's going to go with tomorrow. He didn't really give us an update, on any transfers and that. No, he didn't. But I presume that Solskjaer's going to go with a strong 11 tomorrow against Sevilla, because he isn't going to take any risks, because he knows how important the Europa League is. We are 2 games away from winning, a trophy. And I've given you the main explanations why I want Manchester United to win the Europa League, is because if we win the Europa League, it will put more confidence into the team. Plus, it will be our first trophy under the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer era. Plus, it will be our first trophy in over 3 years. And it will be our second Europa League. We've won 1 Europa League and that came back under the Jose Mourinho era in 2017. We did beat Ajax. Wait a second. Sorry, put this on charge. We did beat Ajax in the final by 2-0, and Solskjaer did recently say that winning the Europa League as Manchester United manager would be one of his greatest achievements. So what he means is it would surpass 1999 and all of that. But we are the favourites to win the Europa League. Solskjaer knows that this is our 3rd semi-final this season. because obviously, we got to the EFL Cup semi-final and we also got to the FA Cup semi-final, and Solskjaer has confirmed his plans to ensure that we do get to the final, and he said that our players must use her from our 2 semi-final defeats this season, and he's called our big players for this game against Sevilla. Obviously, we've got to go on the front foot. Obviously, we can't go on the back foot, and we can't go on the back foot, and there can't be a period where we go without touches, and there can't be a period where we can't make any tackles and that, because obviously we'll get punished. And Solskjaer did also mention this during his press conference and that, because obviously the last time we played Sevilla was back in the last 16 of the Champions League in 2018. Obviously it was 2 legs. We drew the first leg 0-0 at Sevilla, but Sevilla did beat us at home by 2-1. It was 2 goals from Wissam Ben Yedder, and our goal was from Romelu Lukaku. And we didn't start them games very, very well. On Monday, we didn't start the game well against Copenhagen, but we did look better in the second half. We did look better in the second half. Obviously, Bruno Fernandes during the press conference got asked a few questions, and Bruno Fernandes has enjoyed a fantastic start to his Man United career since he's come in. Obviously, he has scored all our penalties, and he has now drawn comparison with Eric Cantona, and obviously Bruno Fernandes reacted to this, and he says that Eric Cantona was a great player for Manchester United, but he says he's got to do more if he is to be compared to Eric Cantona. He's actually denied comparisons with Eric Cantona and that, but Bruno Fernandes just said he came to Manchester for the club. He's coming to win trophies. And he says if Man United can win the Europa League, that will be very, very, very good for us. It's what Bruno Fernandes had mentioned in that. Solskjaer also asked about Sergio Romero and that. And, Solskjaer did praise Sergio Romero during the press conference and that. But for this game against Sevilla, Solskjaer has got a goalkeeping decision to make. What's he going to do? Is he going to stick with Sergio Romero, or is he going to go with David De Gea? Personally speaking, I think he's going to stick with Romero, because Romero obviously does play most of our cup games. Obviously, this season played all our League Cup games. Obviously played all our FA Cup games prior to the semi-final, and he's been playing our Europa League games recently. So I think he's going to stick with Romero. Obviously, Romero's enjoyed 5 years with Manchester United. Obviously, we got him on a free from Sampdoria back in 2015. Romero's just gone to a year left on his Man United contract, but the club do have an option to extend it for a further year. But if Dean Henderson wants to be loaned out, like I said, Sergio Romero would remain our second choice goalkeeper. But if Dean Henderson was obviously to come back, and wasn't to loan him out, then Romero would be our third choice. But we probably are going to sell a goalkeeper in this summer transfer window anyway, because Solskjaer was saying prior to the game against Copenhagen, that he's facing a goalkeeping dilemma. And he said we'll find it hard to keep De Gea, Dean Henderson and Romero all at the football club for next season. But Solskjaer's probably going to make a few changes from our 1-0 win against Copenhagen recently in that. But Sevilla, a very, very good team, so this is a big test for Man United. Like I said, Sevilla are the record holders of the Europa League, because they have won the Europa League 5 times. They most recently won it back in 2016 against Liverpool. They beat Liverpool in the final. Obviously, Sevilla are unbeaten in their last 19 games, so they are in a good vein of form. And they did finish 4th in the La Liga this season, did Sevilla. They did finish 4th in the La Liga this season. So yeah, very, very good team. They've also got some very, very good players. I do presume that Sevilla are probably going to go with a similar team as they did do against Wolves recently. But, we progressed to the Europa League semi-final by obviously, beating Copenhagen in the quarter-final, beating Lask in the last 16, obviously beating Club Brugge in the round of 32. So yeah, I am really looking forward to this game. And obviously, Solskjaer also reacted, to Barcelona, Bayern Munich beating Barcelona 8-2. And he says that actually, Bayern Munich are the best team in Europe. And he said that Manchester United should learn from Bayern Munich. And that I think probably now Bayern Munich will win the Champions League. So, yeah. Obviously, though, these big decisions that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has got to make in this summer transfer window, obviously, what players he's going to recommend in and what players he is going to get rid of. Solskjaer's looking to make at least 3 signings in this summer transfer window, and Solskjaer's already outlined his transfer plans. He's instructed our board to go and get his preferred targets. But I think we should do good recruitment in this summer transfer window because obviously, so far this season, Solskjaer's exceeded expectations. We got qualification for the Champions League, didn't we? And I said, didn't I, how important Champions League was for our players, attracting players, and for the financial structure. So, we should get the players that we do want to recommend in. I think we have got around 140 million to spend in this summer transfer window. And Solskjaer's already identified the areas in the squad where he does want to strengthen up. But this summer transfer window is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's 4th transfer window as Manchester United manager in that. But Solskjaer knows in his summer transfer window, he has got the backing of Ed Woodward, he's also got the backing of the Glazers, and he's also got the backing of the board. Like I said, we're going to get rid of players in this summer transfer window. I think we're going to get rid of around 6 or 7 players. I expect Manchester United to get rid of Jesse Lingard. Pereira, the news regarding him, it's looking very imminent. He's leaving the club. Also to Diego Dalot, I expect him to leave Manchester United. Also to Chris Smalling, he's probably going. Rojo, I expect him to leave the football club. Phil Jones, I expect him to leave the football club. And don't forget as well, we're also going to loan some players out, so they can get regular first team football. Eric Bay, he's another player that could also leave Manchester United in this summer transfer window. So when we sell players, our transfer budget will increase. But to be fair, Solskjaer has got rid of a lot of the deadwood since he got recommended in to Manchester United and all of that. And, he's been here over a year and a half now, and I have taken positives from his tenure so far. Like I said, our recruitment's really improved under him, because Solskjaer's now made 5 permanent signings at Man United and he has spent over £200 million. Obviously, Solskjaer throughout the course of this season has promoted the youth well. His approach in the big games throughout the course of the season has been very good. And, we've extended a lot of players' contracts as well since he came in. We've still got around 7 or 8 players' contracts that are due to expire next year. So definitely, these positives to take, but we have seen an upturn in form since January, because we haven't lost in the league since January, and we're unbeaten in our last 14 league games. And this has been our best vein of form since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, was the interim manager in that. And there's still improvements needed at Manchester United, don't get me wrong, we need to keep the ball better. We need to be slightly more clinical in front of goal. We need to be quicker on the flanks. Defensively as well, we also need to improve. Maybe Solskjaer needs to improve his decision-making a bit more. So there's still improvements needed at Manchester United. But like I said to you before, I want Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's managerial tenure to work out. Obviously, I can't say if it's going to work out as yet. Next season will tell. Because like I said, the big test for Solskjaer is next season. Because next season is his 2nd full season at the club. And next season he will have bigger expectations to exceed. Our expectations next season will be probably to challenge for the title. Because obviously we've been so inconsistent for the last 7 years. And obviously, we haven't won the Premier League since 2013 and all of that. So, yeah. But it depends on who we can bring in this summer transfer window. Signings have already been made so far. City have made some good signings. They got Ferran Torres and Nathan Ake. And I think they signed someone else, Chelsea. I think they've now got Ben Chilwell, they got Ziyech in February, and they got Werner from RP Leipzig not too long ago. Arsenal, they got Willian on the free. Liverpool, they've just recently signed Chisikmas from Olympiacos. I think they're on the verge of getting Thiago from Bayern Munich and that. And, so we've got to start making signings in this summer transfer window. We really, really have, and all of that. But earlier on in the season, I thought Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was going to get sacked as Manchester United manager because we enjoyed our worst start ever to a Premier League season. And at that point, Solskjaer was close to getting sacked. There was talks of Pochettino coming in, and there was also talks of Massimiliano Allegri coming into the football club. But like I've said to you before, there's been problems at the football club for several years. Obviously, with managers, because we have had different managers with different philosophies. Obviously, we've recruited a good 32, 33 players in since Ferguson left. A lot of the players we have brought in over the years have not been the right calibre players for Man United. We've overpaid for players, and we've spent nearly £1 billion on players since Ferguson's retirement and that. And we've also got players on big contracts at the football club. In the entirety of our history, we have won 45 trophies. Obviously, 38 of them trophies came under Alex Ferguson, including 13 Premier League titles. Obviously, the other trophies, came under Van Gaal, won the FA Cup under him, and we won the Europa League and the League Cup in Jose Mourinho's first season. That. So there you go. But like I said, it's going to be hard for Solskjaer or any manager at Man United or any manager in general to replicate Ferguson's legacy. And it's going to be hard for someone to last as long as Alex Ferguson did. But let's put into the equation, Ferguson didn't settle in straight away at Man United because obviously didn't win out in his first 4 years at the football club. So it does take some managers time. Some United fans believe if Solskjaer is given the time that he's demanding, then he can emulate into the next year and Klopp or something like that. But, we shall see. Solskjaer now at the football club, I think, knows his best 11. He also knows his best formation. Throughout the course of the season, though, Solskjaer did make a lot of rotation, but that's obviously reflects on the injuries we had. Don't forget there was a period where Solskjaer went with the exact same team in the league for 5 games in a row, and that's the first time we've done that since February 1993. But I want things to work out under Solskjaer, and Solskjaer's now got that managerial experience behind him because Man United is the third club in his managerial career. Before he was with us, he was at Molde, and before he was at Molde, he was at Cardiff. His record at Cardiff was absolutely disastrous, if I'm going to be quite honest with you. But like I said, for several years as well, we've been very critical of how, been critical of Ed Woodward. We've also been critical of the Glazers because we don't like the way the football club's been run in the last 7 years. Since the Jose Mourinho way, we have been in the process, of trying to get a director of football in to join Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's structure and all of that. But we probably won't bother getting a director of football in. To be honest with you in that. But like I said, I've been impressed with a lot of players throughout the course of this season because there's quite a lot of players that have improved under Solskjaer, especially the top players. That's one admission I've got to say. I think Martial's done well this season. Rashford's done okay. Greenwood's had a good season. Bruno Fernandes has been exceptional since he came in. He's won Player of the Month 3 times. McTominay and Fred have done very, very well for the vast majority of the season. Matic did well towards the end of the season. Lindelof and Maguire, they've been a bit up and down. Luke Shaw's had a good season. Williams has had a good season. Bissaka's mainly had a good season. Daniel James has had a pretty good season. Obviously, he wasn't getting starts though towards the end of the season. But yeah, I think we have got a good squad, but we've got to make some signings. That's what Manchester United have got to do. And I think for next season, Luke Shaw will remain our first choice left back. Because obviously, Luke Shaw is more experienced than Brandon Williams. But probably I think in the next year or two, Williams will become our first choice left back and that. So there you go. So anyway guys, that's everything to update today. Drop your comments, likes, play on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.